Alright, what's going on, you fam? Raiyuden here. Data download is in. Once again, thank you, Grazdog, for the usual hard work that you do, providing us the early information for what the game has in store for us. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the events that are coming up, as well as the kit for Zenkai Toppo and the free-to-play Piccolo. Based off the description they provided, he doesn't sound too shabby. So starting off, we got a Seize Victory and Festival Face-Off, Legends Limited 10% ticket summon. Pretty nifty. Alright, nice little event just to get your hands on some potential Legends Limited characters. Next, obviously, the Zenkai Rush Battle for good old Toppo. This high difficult event, it's nice that this has come back. I think the last one was supposed to be for Ultra Janemba, the 1000cc thing, but they didn't bring that back. But it's nice to have a high difficult event over here. Next, we got a raid. This time we're going to be fighting Power Awakened Piccolo as well as Beast Gohan. That's what it looks like here. Oh, sorry, actually, Beast Gohan is just the battle bonus character. Hopefully you guys pulled him. Next, this is the free-to-play Piccolo. Let's go ahead and dive through his kit. They kind of made him sound like a support-type unit. If that's the case, that'd be fantastic. We have seen free-to-play characters perform quite well if they are a support defensive type dude. So let's see what they got in store. In terms of this unit, Red Ribbon Army Piccolo, main ability. Destroy all your own cards and randomly draw 4 new ones. 20% damage inflicted cannot be cancelled. Cover nullification for 15 timer counts. Cancel own attribute downgrades. Only takes 5 timer counts, so that's pretty strong actually. 4 new cards, extra damage buff, 5 timer counts, extend your combo, no contestation. Pretty good. Let's see, passive 1, 85% to damage inflicted, 60% reduced damage received. I wonder why they gave him 85. And he gets 60% key recovery, which is good. Going to help extend his combos. When he shows up on the battlefield, he'll get 30 key, 30% damage inflicted for 15 counts, putting him up to 115%. Not too shabby. Applies the following effects to self every time an artist card is drawn while you're on the field. Restore on key by 10 and 10% damage inflicted. Oh! They gave him the green Goku Black effect. For those that don't remember, the green transforming Goku Black had a very similar kit to this, where he kept powering up every time he drew a card and got a little bit of additional key. It looks like Piccolo got that, and that's very clever with the way his main works. Dump 4 cards, draw 4 new ones. Okay, very nice. The following effects occur every time this character uses a strike or a blast card. 10% damage inflicted for 10 counts? And stacks his own card draw speed, and he gives support for your allies. Wow. Damn, that's actually pretty good. That's remarkably good. What in the world? So every time he draws a card, 10% more damage, and every time he uses a card, another 10% damage if he uses a strike or blast. This tells me this Piccolo probably has below average offensive stats. That's usually what they do. I think the Blue Broly does something similar to this, but wow, that's really good. The 5% damage inflicted by allies is probably going to be noticeable too. I like that. That's pretty good. Shorten ally subcount by 1 every time one hit with an enemy's arts attack while this character's on the battlefield. Another big plus. Damn, this is only his first passive, and this Piccolo is already looking impressive. Very high stacking damage rate, cover nullification, only 5 timer counts in. Do you guys remember that Yellow Trunks? He was called the best free-to-play character because his early main ability and the cover null and the 4 new cards usually transition to a fast rush. Piccolo stacking up damage and getting that 5 timer counts in. That's very, very impressive. Like from the main, 85% damage inflicted, 30% damage inflicted for 15 counts for showing up, 115%. Pop the main, 135%. You draw 4 new cards, so 175% damage inflicted, 5 timer counts in. That's pretty good burst damage. Shorten ally subcount is just a cherry on top because we can transition to a bunch of different characters with cover change and tanking and whatever. You already know the drill. Gotta do something. Knock enemy back to long range if a cover change is performed against strike cards. If this character is switched to standby, restore ally key by 20 and a 15% damage buff. What in the world? This Piccolo actually has a very impressive kit. Stacking of card draw speed, 5% damage inflicted by allies, 15% when he swaps out too. You can't chain his cover change. Just kind of stinks, but he's a free character. I'm not surprised. Inflict enemy with the attribute downgrades minus 10% to strike and blast arts power for 15 counts. Also applies the following effects to allies if there are 2 movie saga, event exclusive, or regeneration battle members. Restore own health by 10%, activates 5 times, applies attribute upgrade minus 15 to enemy sustained damage cut effects. Wait. This is when he goes into standby? I don't understand. Applies attribute upgrade minus 15. So he gets minus 15% enemy sustained damage cut effects when he goes into standby? So meaning you get 5 timer counts worth of it if you bring him back in? I don't understand. If this was worded to apply it to your ally, this guy would probably be one of the best supports in the entire game. But I think he's implying it to himself when he goes into standby. Okay. So far, really impressive. The following effects occur when this character is defeated. Restore ally health by 10%, 25% to damage inflicted by allies which cannot be cancelled. Nullify allies' attribute downgrades that are normal conditions for 15 counts. Destroy all your enemies' cards. This is probably one of the most impressive free-to-play kits we've received. What am I looking at here? He stacks damage, early cover null, draws 4 fast cards, able to stack up card draw speed, keeps buffing up allies as he fights, able to shorten his sub count as he's hit. When he swaps out, he gives key and damage and weakens your opponent, and if he gets killed, he gives a permanent damage buff and heals your team. This Piccolo is extremely impressive. He might be the best free character we've ever received. Special move damage, major impact, upon activation, 30% to blue card damage, applies attribute upgrade, shortens sub count by 5 to self. So this is going to work pretty good with the minus 15% enemy sustained damage cut effects, because now it only takes 5 timer counts to bring this guy back in. Shorten ally sub count by 1. It's only 1, but hey, 1 timer count is the difference between swapping out from a rush and not. Blast armor when charging forward is pretty good. Green card, destroy all your own cards and randomly draw 2 new cards. So just like Green Goku Black, but he only draws 2. I think Green Goku Black got 3. Restore own key by 30, 20% to damage inflicted for 10 counts. Shorten ally sub count by 1. Tons of sub count manipulation, tons of damage stacking, death buffs, early cover nullification. This guy is like a super fast burst unit with death buffs. That's crazy. This guy does everything. This is great. Piccolo's, yeah, this might be the best free-to-play character we've ever received. Definitely farm this guy. He looks really good. Now next, Green TOPPO ZENKAI. This character, I'm going to be honest, his call to fame is probably going to be a Zenkai bench. Let's be real here. He is the blue slug to Janemba, but for Evoken. The Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta and Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku, because he gives 35% damage, strike and blast attack to Universe Survival Saga, and he's going to get 40% blast attack with his Zenkai ability, so 75% to Evoken. That's insane. But let's see what Toppo's got. Main ability, destroy all your own cards to draw your ultimate. Increases the ult damage based off of the number of cards killed. Restore own health by 30% and ki by 50. Gets permanent card draw speed. I think that used to be only 15 counts, so that's good. I don't think the damage buff for the ultimate went up, but if it did, 100% is great, especially with the Zenkai ability and the stats. Fallen effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Randomly draw a new card if you have 3 or fewer. Get 20 ki, 20% blast damage inflicted for 10 counts. Minus 10 to blast cost. Pretty good. Reduce next damage sustained by 40%. And inflict all enemies with +2 sub count. Activates 4 times. I think it used to be only twice before, so that's good. You get to leverage this guy's little snipe. Next passive. Applies the following effects to self when the battle starts. 90% damage inflicted. 30% reduced damage received. 30% key recovery. Apply buff effect. Nullify abnormal conditions. Also applies the following effects to self every time this character uses a strike or blast. Restore health by 5%. 50% blast damage inflicted, 50% blue card damage inflicted, 50% key recovery, and it resets on switch. Okay. You're guaranteed to draw a new card if you have 3 or fewer when you show up, so not bad so far. Activation count resets on character switch. Now his new passive, Zenkai 3. The following effects occur when enemy switches characters while this character is on the battlefield. Restore own ki by 20, 20% damage inflicted, reduce enemy ki by 20. That's not bad. The following effects occur when this character switches to standby. Restore own health by 5%, shorten own sub count by 2. Inflict the enemy with the attribute downgrade minus 10% to strike and blast arts power. It's nice seeing more characters get this just because offensive power creep is insane. I mean, Beast Gohan is just one-shotting everyone left and right. Zenkai 6. The following effects occur when enemy performs a vanishing step while this character is on the field. Randomly draw a new card if you have 3 or fewer. 20% blast damage inflicted. Randomly destroy 1 enemy card. Also applies the following effects to yourself when this character enters the field. If there's a defeated battle member, you will now have level 2 card draw speed, assuming you pop the main. Tick away downgrades and normal conditions, and you get cover nullification for 10 counts. I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't really come off as the most impressive Zenkai. It seems a little bit mild, a couple interesting quirks, but honestly, this dude is just gonna be a Zenkai bench. Blue card, massive explode damage. All enemies hit with plus 15% blast damage inflicted debuff, as well as a plus 25% damage received debuff. Whoa. One of them is upon activation, one of them is upon hit. That's pretty good, actually. Your enemies are going to be taking 40% more blast damage. Restore own ki by 50 upon using a green card. Oh, sorry. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Oh, yeah. His green card is the little pebble. I forgot about that. The following effects occur on hit. Destroy all your enemies' cards. They are taking plus 30% extra damage, minus 70% to health restore, and minus 2 to card draw speed. That's huge. The green card and blue card sure make your opponent take a ton of damage. And his Zenkai ability is Green Universe Rep. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I still think his Zenkai is rather mild. I guess he can be a suitable green ranged second option if you don't have Evoken for blast-based Universe Rep. But I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't really jump out as the most fantastic Zenkai. The likes of Green Gogeta and Yellow Cell I think are still better. But that is not to say that Green TOPPO is not good. He's just not, he's not bad. He doesn't really jump off as anything fantastic or amazing to me, but he's not crap either. I think he's alright. I don't think he's going to be anything too crazy. But honestly, the crazy has to be the Piccolo. The Piccolo, the free character, holy crap, that dude is amazing. Alright, here's the last little bit of information. We got the stats and whatever for the new equips. So this is going to be Piccolo. He is a purple support type. Now do keep in mind you have to take away 13,000 from the stats, just because this is with the maximum stats, although you probably have your own titles, so I guess you can add back 5,000. So in terms of offenses, you know, 245-ish strike attack, you know, 240 something blast attack, and you know, 170s for defense. It's not too shabby for Piccolo, but you do have to keep in mind he has only 60% reduced damage received. So in terms of overall tanking for Piccolo, it's not going to be the most stellar, but I'm not really expecting much from a support unit, especially one that is free. So the stacking of the damage with all the different cards and the card draw speed, I'm not surprised. I figured that just based off the kit alone. But in terms of what he's doing for the team, both the death buffs, the support, and that extra boost start that he gives you with that main ability, you know, getting cover nullification as well as 4 additional cards, can actually go quite a long way. So I'm not too worried about this, but being a purple support type for movies and regeneration is not too bad. Kind of funny because, you know, Super Boo was a purple support type too. Now next we got TOPPO stats. Again, take away 13,000. Very impressive strike, blast attack rather. We already went through the entire kit. But yeah, maybe with the Zenkai ability, the stats, and the minor adjustments that they made, TOPPO could look rather formidable. We'll have to see in game, so be sure to look out for the showcases when they drop. Now next, we do have some new platinum equipments. We know that this one is just for Sun family. Here's the restriction down below, but either 32% base strike or blast, depending on which one you farm, and then you get base strike defense as well as pure strike defense if you're fighting. Sorry, you get 12% base strike defense, but you get an additional 12% pure strike defense when a tank Saiyan is a battle member. And then on the final slot, you get base blast defense, but if you're fighting with a hybrid Saiyan battle member, you get an additional 12% pure blast defense. I often get asked what's the difference between base and pure. Pure is calculated after all your base values are calculated, if that makes sense. It is the final calculation done, so it often provides the biggest benefit. So this is actually pretty good, because oftentimes you can satisfy and this with, you know, just have pan fighting with any Saiyan character. Boom, you got all of this. So plenty of defense with a high amount of you know, your main offensive stat is pretty good. And then for Piccolo, he has his own little equipment here too, although it is really just directed towards superhero characters. So both defenses, either strike or blast attack, and then the final slot here, blue card damage, and then up to 10% to own strike and blast attack if this character is an event exclusive character. So Piccolo, sagas from the movies, superhero. So that seems to be everything here. We did get a new PvP message, which is from Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, from the moment where he has a conversation with Super Buu. How interesting would you guys be hyped if MajinBlue Saga was part of Legends Fest, like for part 2? This is supreme cope, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, nor am I expecting it to happen. But what if that's what they decide to do? MajinBlue Saga versus GT. For GT, I think the Universal Spirit Bomb is a fantastic moment that's worthy of Legends Fest. But what if they just take Dokkan's 8th year anniversary and they do a Spirit Bomb MajinBlue Saga character, and they slap it against a GT Universal Spirit Bomb character? That'd be cool. 2 preparation mode characters going head to head. I know a lot of Goku characters, maybe not so exciting, but I don't know. The PvP message could imply something, who knows. But either way, that seems to be everything. Let me know in the comment section below what you're thinking. How is the Zenkai? How is this new Piccolo looking? I think he's very impressive for a free character. Everything that he's doing, everything that he's providing. What do you think about these platinum equipments as well? Let me know in the comment section below. But until next time, be on the lookout for the showcases. Peace out, guys.